What's up, Weebos? It's your boy, Joshua Gooley. For a long time, I didn't really want to check it out because of the whole debacle when Fallout 76 first came out. And, it was bad from what I heard. Now, I had got into Fallout really hardcore because okay, to start out first, when I was playing games, on the PS3 and stuff, I had never heard of Fallout before that, but I had finally seen the actual case, at the game store when the PlayStation 3 was out, and I kind of thought it was like a Call of Duty type thing, since all the power armor on the cover, and I wasn't interested, I've never really liked games like that. I like games with good stories and thick lore and things like that. I wasn't interested, but eventually one day a roommate of mine let me borrow Fallout 4 and I played it and I really liked it. I thought it was pretty cool, I started getting into it more and I did buy a PlayStation 3 and I've tried playing New Vegas, but it's old, man. Like, I mean, I wish I would have got into those games a long time ago. I wish I would have got into Fallout 1 and 2 when those were out, so I could have played those, but, that was a long time ago, and I can't play that crap now. It's like Final Fantasy. I got into Final Fantasy 7 Remake and 15 and 14, and 13 is doable. It doesn't look like a bunch of crap, kind of. I tried playing like Final Fantasy 6 and the old 7, and I can't do it. I can't do it. So, anyways, I got into Fallout 4 pretty hard, and I really liked it. I liked the whole world. I like that it's kind of like an alternate reality, like Watchmen, and it's the future, and nuclear destruction has happened, and we're living in the fallout. So I started buying a lot of Fallout clothes and just pop figures, and I got into it. And Fallout 76 came out, and I was super excited. I couldn't wait for it. I wasn't really interested in the multiplayer thing because I just multiplayer games aren't really my deal. But when it came out, I was excited for it. But then I watched a review the day it came out, and I was actually gonna go buy it the day it came out. I was gonna buy the $200 special edition and stuff, and I saw what it was like, and I was like, oh no. No NPCs, just following ghosts and holotapes, and I saw how janky and buggy, and how the servers were disconnecting, and just complete and utter crap, basically. So I didn't want to play it. So, fast forward to now, 2 years later, and I got a copy of it. And, eventually one day, it was around Christmas, and I was able to, start a new game. I had finally finished Final Fantasy 14, and my girl was playing that one still. If you watch my last video, me and her were into that. And, so I started playing Fallout 76 around Christmas, and this was after the Steel Dawn update, after Wastelanders update, and I'm playing it now, and it's good. Like, I really like it. I like it much more than Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas. I really want to play it because I hear it's the best, but it just looks cruddy. But Fallout 76, and a lot of people make fun of the Todd Howard saying 16 times the detail, They show these videos and the memes with Todd Howard slowed down 16 times the detail while showing people fucking, server connection and crashing, and it's become a whole big thing. Everybody just thinks it's crap now, but those of us that do play 76 and get into it, we really like it. And in my opinion, it does have 16 times the detail. You played Fallout 4? You remember what it looks like? Yeah, it looks like trash, right? 76, it probably don't look much better, but it does also at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like they fixed the lighting into it, and there are a lot of things that are more detailed. It looks like they reused a lot of assets from 4, but there ain't no way that it doesn't have more detail. There's a lot more creatures in it. God, there's a lot of creatures. There are so many enemies to fight in it. I mean, it's got the main ones that you fought in all of them. It's got the raiders and super mutants and, rad roaches and fucking mongrel dogs. And the robots. It's got all that stuff, but it has a lot of new stuff. Uh, it's got this alien that's like purple, and it can, you build your own camp, and the purple alien can, like, charm your turrets and stuff like that, and it can charm all the animals in the area and make them attack you. There's Wendigos, people that, it's in Appalachia and it's in the mining community, and there's people that got locked in mines and stuff like that, and they had to eat each other, and they basically became creatures that can't be fulfilled. So that's Wendigos. It's a Native American legend, and it's got a lot of stuff from a lot of urban legends and stuff from the Appalachian area. So I really like it. And oh God, the Mothman. The Mothman is freaking awesome. My girl has yet to get me like a gift or anything like that, but the first thing that she got me is a freaking Fallout 76 Mothman pop figure, and I'm super excited. Can't wait to get it. I love the area in the new Fallout, and I think I want to get the miner pop figure too. There's another enemy that are miners. They're like the game doesn't really explain what they are. They're big guys that are hunched over, and they got the respirators and the mine outfit and like these big cloaks, and they walk and they shoot you, and they have gauntlets, and they have some intelligence, but 1 in 5 of them, when you kill them, they have a child's toy on them, and doesn't explain why. You don't actually know who these things are. I think that they were children that were forced to work in the mines, maybe, and when the nuclear blast went off, their respirators got welded onto their faces, and they carry around still a toy, piece of their past life. You can find things on them that are pieces of them when they were humans. They still have some intelligence. They talk. Um, but yeah. Oh, there's another big enemy too, the Scorched. They're pretty much like ghouls almost. I mean, they probably use the same. No, they didn't use the same enemy type because it's ghouls are just like "Rawr," and they run at you and claw you and stuff, and they're feral, but the Scorched actually have a brain. They probably use the same enemy type as raiders and human, enemies and stuff like that. Probably because they act kind of like humans. They shoot at you and stuff, and they will hide behind things. But they look like humans. They got caught in the blast, and their skin is just meaty and gross looking. They're bloody, and they got weird boils like green spikes or something. I don't know. It's a scorched plague that broke out. There's an irradiated bat called the scorched beast, and it flies around, and it breathes out radiation, and it turns people into scorched. It spreads the plague. So I haven't got into the full lore of it. I found out some of the lore. I know it spawned from the glass mine or something. I think that's where the Scorch Beast started out, but it's a big reason why the Brotherhood of Steel's in Appalachia. Now, people that are lore fanatics, and I mean that fanaticism, the quintessential fanatic, are the people that talk about, oh my God, why is the Brotherhood of Steel in Appalachia? This game takes place 20 years after the blast, and the Brotherhood of Steel is from California, and they wanted to hide and stay in a vault and keep their weaponry and their intelligence locked away, so they bitch and moan about how it doesn't make no sense. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't into Fallout 1 and 2, so I mean, it kind of makes sense to me. I mean, there's holotapes and stuff about how they couldn't communicate with their Brotherhood of Steel people on the East Coast. So they went out to the East Coast to find out what was going on, and there was the Scorch Beast, sent the Scorch Plague and stuff, and the Brotherhood of Steel are fighting the Scorch, and it's kind of breaking out there around Glass Mine, and you find Insane Asylum where the Brotherhood of Steel made their base and stuff, and it's really cool. God, it's really good. Fallout 76 is just really good. I'm really into it. I'm really enjoying it. I make some clothes sometimes. I make jackets and stuff like that. And I'm making a new one that's going to be a Fallout 76 jacket. I'm going to make it blue, royal blue. I'm going to put the big gold 76 on the back. It's going to have a Nuka girl on it and bullets on the arms. And it's going to be badass. I mean, I gotta weather it so it looks like it was through a wasteland, and I'm not sure about, tying it to the back of a car and driving it around to beat it up or running sandpaper over it, especially when it's a $50 jacket. But, anyway, you get the idea. I'm really into it, so, um, Fallout 76, there's probably a lot of people that are still thinking about it, like, oh, I don't know if I should try it out. And I've watched some YouTubers that talk about it, and they're like, the game is so broken, it's essentially broken, and there's no point in playing it now. It's just, it's never going to be fixed. There are things about it that are down to its very core, just broken. And that's what I thought at first too. I mean, I was playing it for about a week, and there was this quest that popped up, and I was trying to do it, and it wouldn't do it. Like it was making me. I finished a quest called Back to Basics, and then it picked up. I think I started doing a Brotherhood of Steel quest that was on an update. And in the vanilla version of Fallout, Brotherhood of Steel wasn't in it. There was like a bunch of holotapes and some quests involving the Brotherhood of Steel, but they weren't actually in it. So, I actually real early in the game, I went to the Brotherhood of Steel, the NPCs, and did a bunch of quests for them. So, after doing Back to Basics, it like said that I was to do recruitment blue. So I was going to the place where I did Back to Basics, trying to do the recruitment blues quest, and it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me talk to the robot, Mr. Handy military guy or whatever. And I was like, dude, this thing is broken. And I was looking online, and people were like, oh, this quest is broken. It's been broken since it came out. And well, it turns out that you're not actually supposed to pick up that quest till way later, like once you get down to Cranberry Bog, which is, I don't know if you can see it very well, but Cranberry Bog, this is the map right here. Cranberry Bog is this area down here, this little red area right here is Cranberry Bog, and you can see how big the map is. But Cranberry Bog it's a bitch. It is really hard. That's where Glass Mine is at, where the Scorch Beast started spreading the plague, and there's Scorch Beasts flying around, and Mirelot Queens, if you know what those are from Fallout 4. I don't know if they were in other ones, because Fallout 4 is the only other one that I played, but it's a dangerous area. There's a lot of bad stuff. Mylok Kings too, which are like skinny, red, emaciated Mylocks, I guess, with like red spikes on them, and they're assholes. They make this really creepy sound. Whoosh, whoosh. All the insect enemies make really nasty sounds. The clacking of their claws and stuff, and you see a bunch of bones all over the place. People made houses out of, and they're like gigantic. They look like dinosaur bones, but they're from irradiated creatures that people killed and made fucking homes out of, or raider bases or armor, and it's cool. Yeah, I'm really into Fallout 76. Can't tell. I'm really liking it. I really like all the mines all over the place. There's a lot of caves in all the Fallouts, but I like I like it how there were these mines there before, and just the mining community. And there's this rich people called the Hornwrights, and they made this big mining thing that can break through the ground called the Mother Lode. And there's this ghoul scientist lady that lives in the Hornwright like tower, and she's in the basement. And you go to meet her, and she's a ghoul. She still has intelligence. She hasn't turned feral, but there's a lot of ghouls in this that haven't turned feral yet, and they're all worried about it. God, there's this really good quest. I'm doing it right. Well, no, I just did it, but really good. Uh, Fuck, man, what is the girl's name? What the hell is that girl's name? It's like Badger or fuck, dude, I don't remember her name. It's cool though, okay? It's really cool. The quest is you go to this cave because you got to get this guy to help blast open a vault, and there's a girl in there that's looking for him too. He left the Raiders because he said people were looking at him funny, and he makes them sick and stuff. So he basically made his home in his cave, and he made this big suicide place. Like, he's got all these chairs hooked up with shotguns. He's trying to kill himself, and it's black humor. It's funny in a sick way that he's locked away in a cave trying to kill himself, but it's cool at the same time. It's funny. And there's this girl that you meet who's trying to find him, and she can't talk. I cannot remember her name. It's some kind of animal. I can't remember. It's some kind of fucking, rodent, whatever. It's really not important. The thing is, though, that, she was in a group before the Raiders, and she sold someone out, or she ratted someone out, so they took a hot poker and they fucking burned her voice box so that she couldn't talk and couldn't rat no one out anymore. And the Raiders got her, and they use science like technology to put this collar on her so that she can talk. It's that collar that you got, the beeping red collar. Yeah, my girl picked up this collar at a prison. It's like an explosive collar, but she's wearing it. But she's got this voice box, and she talks all robotic. And it's very quirky. It's very funny. She is a cool character. It won't let her say certain things. She was like, I cannot say bad words. I have to say fornicate or that place below. She can't say fuck or hell, so she has to say fornicate or the place below. Like it's funny and just it's really quirky. It's really awesome. It was a it was a very nice touch. I really liked it. There's a lot of things in this game that I really like, especially the ghoul dude that's trying to kill himself. Yeah, you get there and you find out why he's making everybody sick from looking at him. He's a fucking ghoul. He's disgusting looking. His skin is glistening and he's been alive for a long time. He's down there because he's worried that he's going to turn feral eventually and kill everybody. So, but the Raiders have welcomed a lot of people in there. There's a big female super mutant that's looking for her little buddy that's like this little girl who's a Raider that like wears welding goggles, and I don't know. There's just a lot of really good characters in it. Rah rah, yeah, right, yeah. What characters have you found that you like? Have you found any that you really like? Oh, the guy that plays Jay, from Jay and Silent Bob is in it. He does the voice for the ghoul with the Wayward, and he's a really cool character. The girl with the Wayward, what's her name? Yeah. Well, are there any characters that you really like in it? There's a lot of. Oh. You gotta speak louder so they can hear you. What area have you been in? She's been around the top of the map, but I've been all over pretty much. There's some areas I haven't really been too much. She's trying to avoid Cranberry Bog. She don't want to go there because it's dangerous. And if she's not as high a level as me, but I went down to Cranberry Bog when I was still like level 28 or something like that. And yeah, I got my ass kicked and I was screaming a lot. And of course, she's over there in the corner, like, 'cause she doesn't like me yelling. I get pretty mean when I yell and stuff, and I turn into a dick when I start dying a lot. And why is my HP so low? Anyways, yeah, it's cool, it's good. But story aside, let's talk about the gameplay. Like the other ones, it's first person or third person, she plays in first person, I play in third person, but we've run into some glitches. Mostly it's whenever they do an update and they patch stuff and fix things. The game will fucking break all the time. It will kick you off, will say disconnected from server constantly. You'll play for 2 hours and it'll kick you off 10 fucking times, 2 hours, basically every 15 or 20 minutes. So you're not going to be doing any quests, you can go around leveling up, but you shouldn't be playing any quests because if you get 75% through a quest and then it kicks you off the server, you got to go back and start all over again from the beginning, and it fucking sucks. Like, I mean, let's say you're in the Vault Tech University and you have to go through that whole area, if it kicks you off at the very end before you exit the building and get the next, part of the quest where the next yellow box comes up and tells you what to do, you're screwed. And you did all that for nothing. I mean, you'll keep all the junk that you got and all the weapons you got and any leveled up that you did, but I mean, the game won't register any, progress that you made in the quest, and that sucks. The VAT system. Let's talk about the VAT system. Now, in other Fallout games, VAT is, it automatically goes into first person. It targets different body parts, and time will stop or slow down, and you can, kill enemies and stuff like that, depending on how many action points you have, endurance or stamina, basically. And in this one, well, it's an online game. It's a multiplayer game, so they can't just slow down time. I mean, imagine PvP when somebody's able to stop time on you. It would be a bit unfair, but I think they could have done it. I think they could have balanced it out in a way where, yeah, they can slow down time on you, but you can also do it to them. I mean, it would suck fighting somebody that has, 1,000 fucking Nuka Quantums and a million stim packs and, Psycho and everything else that makes him basically an unkillable god, and then they're spamming VATs on top of it. Just Just imagine having to fight that. That would not be fun. It's already when you come across somebody that's high level and they already got a lot of stuff. It's already a bitch. I can't imagine them slowing down time on you, but it's not the point. Point is that I think they could have done it, or at the very least, when you're playing by yourself and you're not with other players, you should be able to. When you're playing against enemy types, you should at least in PvP you shouldn't be able to use it. It should be the way it is now. But when you're just playing enemies out there in the world, you should really be able to use VATS. I mean, they should have made it two different ways. Kind of like Final Fantasy 14, where you play the game and you can meet people, but it's still a single player game. And then when you do dungeons or you're out with people, then it becomes, a multiplayer game. But for the most part, it's got its own quest line. You're doing things by yourself, which is what I do most of the time. I ran into a real cool guy. He was real nice. I'll talk about that in a second. Let's finish the bugs in the game. So yeah, the VATS is really fucked up. It's basically a very shitty auto aim system is what it's turned into. If you have action points, you can auto aim at any limb and do that, and you can do a critical shot. But half the time it doesn't connect. The criticals always connect, but you have to build that up by hitting them. And I'll shoot at a limb or the head or whatever, and it says the percentage. But even if the percentage is like 90%, the shot still won't fucking connect. And it makes no goddamn sense at all why the shot won't connect. I mean, really everything I'm talking about are nitpicks. I really like the game. I'm really into it. The base building, there's a few bugs with it. In Fallout 4, when you made a base, you could scrap anything in the area. Like I made it at the first housing community that you're at in Fallout 4, and I scrapped mailboxes, whole houses, cars, everything, and got materials from it. But in this, you can't do that. Like I made a cool base on a beach, and I built a bunch of shit already. And then there was like the last corner of the house I was building, and it wouldn't let me build it because there was a fucking skeleton in an inner tube laying on the beach. And essentially, it was a part of the fucking landscape. It was a part of the ground. Couldn't scrap it. So, that skeleton with that inner tube is there, and it's not going anywhere. So, you shouldn't make your base. If there are anything in the way, any rocks, anything, you cannot scrap it and make concrete or anything out of it like you can in, Fallout 4. But you can make some really cool stuff. And the Atomic Shop ain't as bad as people said it was. People said it was like pay to win and stuff. It is not at all. You can't buy anything. You cannot buy high grade weapons. You cannot buy anything to help you nuke quantums. You can't buy armor. You can buy some cool. It's all cosmetic, is what it is. I mean, you can buy. It's all cosmetic. I mean, because I was thinking about it, like, yeah, even like the water purifier and everything else you get for it, you got to have the plans for a regular water purifier. All it does is make it look different. Same with the house. Everything that you get in the Atomic Shop is just cosmetic. You know what I mean? And I'm Fallout first. I bought the I bit the bullet and got Fallout first. It's cheap. It's like $11 a month. When you play the game, the regular version of it, you get a box where you can store things, and there are only 800 pounds worth of space. Now, if you like building stuff, steel scrap, if you like making bullets, lead scrap, if you like, you know, make like having food and things like that. You store a bunch of Nuka Colas, you store wood, scraps and shit, a bunch of weapons, man. A fat man weighs 20 fucking pounds, man. You store 20 weapons, that's damn near most of your space right there. So it's a bitch. So the only way to get past that is to join Fallout first. And when you join Fallout first, you get some cool things. Every month they give you I can't remember how many atoms. It's not that many because everything costs like 500 at the least. So, and it's cosmetic shit anyways. I could take or leave the atoms really. You get them in game anyways. So that's not a big deal. What is good about Fallout First is the scrap box that you get. You can't put weapons or anything like that in it. It stores only scrap items. So steel scrap, lead scrap, wood scrap, all that stuff you can put in it, and it won't take up space and your stash box. That's a good thing. Then there's also a survival tent, which you can make one at a time. So wherever is an area that you're doing a lot of stuff, you can go ahead and put your tent up, and it has a little cooking station, and it has your stash box, scrap box, and it's got a little sleeping bag. Um, and it just makes it easier because you can fast travel to your base, and then you can fast travel back to the tent to go about your business. And, because it costs caps to fast travel now, which sucks. There's a perk which cuts it in half, but it still costs a lot. The other day I realized that I unequipped my perk that makes it cheaper to fast travel. I was like, wait a minute, so I've been fast traveling this whole time and I forgot that I unequipped my perk card. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, the game just has a lot of fucked up things that really make it not fun and bug the fuck out of it. And if you join Fallout first, it really helps a lot. Plus, it also gives you a private world to play, and the game crashes less. I think since I've been playing on private world, it's crashed once, maybe twice, instead of 5 or 6 times. So, um, I don't know. And you can invite players to play with you. As soon as my girl actually gets her own PlayStation, I'll be able to invite her to my world, and it'll be pretty much like she has Fallout first too, once that time comes. So anyways, what are there any other bugs you've come into? Most of them are shit that aren't really game breaking. You do get stuck on random shit, but that happens in every game. Camera's wonky when you run. There's a lot of things that are buggy like that, but that's no different than any game. A lot of games nowadays are like that. And you got to expect that with Bethesda. I mean, things that really fuck things up. Is there anything that really fucks up shit other than server crashes and bullets not connecting? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny. You'll see an enemy, right? And all of a sudden they're running, and all of a sudden their feet aren't moving. Their feet are just standing straight, and they're like sliding around, and it's like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden they're behind you, and it's like, what? What is going on? I don't think Bethesda really had the ability to make a multiplayer game. I think they tried their best because people were talking about how much they wanted to play with their friends in Fallout, and they listened to them, and they were like, "Oh, well, we're gonna make an online Fallout that all the characters. We don't need to make NPCs. We're just gonna put robots in it, and all the characters are gonna be real people that you come across are all real people." Dude, I don't want to play with real people. If I want to tackle the wasteland and tackle a quest with them, I will. But I need NPCs. I need people in my fucking world, man. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if there's nobody around, and a lot of times you come across people, they don't even want to play with you. They might trade with you, and they might be taking on a quest that they'll do with you. But for yeah, for the most part, you're not really doing much with them. Not at all. I mean, a lot of people try and fuck with me. The other day, this guy wanted to do PvP with me. He was shooting at me, and I wouldn't shoot back because I was in the middle of a quest. I didn't feel like doing it, right? Then some floaters came by. They're these big fucking balloon-headed things. They come in green, blue, and red. Red ones are fire, green are like poisonous, and the blue ones are freezing. And they float around. They'll fuck you up. But some of those spawned, and I started shooting at them. Now, the way PvP works in Fallout 76 is they shoot at you, and you have to shoot back. Otherwise, they take away like 1% of your health each time they hit you. They cannot kill you unless they're shooting at you for like 10 minutes. So, other than that, there really is no PvP unless you both engage in it. It's not like Dark Souls where somebody comes into your world and just backstabs you and all of a sudden you're in a fight. No, they shoot at you and you got to shoot back, or else there really isn't any PvP going on. So, I was doing a quest. He shot at me, and I was just doing my quest. I didn't feel like doing it. And he was in power armor, level like 300 anyways. I didn't feel like it. So, I was killing these floaters. This fucking guy gets between me and the floaters, runs in front of me so that my bullets hit him. And I am engaged in PvP now, even though I didn't want to. That happens. He jumps up in the air wearing his power armor, pulls out a fucking fat man, launches a mini nuke, and I'm dead. You know, I mean, a mini nuke does 900 and something damage. That was bullshit. I mean, he probably would have fought me, but when I didn't want to fight back, he was like, okay, well, I'm just going to end this now. And that was bullshit, man. That shit just ruins the game. What an asshole. And then people will blow up your base and shit, too. And you got to set up turrets, but that ain't going to stop many people. I mean, I don't know, man. The people in the world a lot of times ruin the game. And that's fucked up. I really like the game and people ruin it, but let's see. Are there any other glitches I need to talk about? Not really, but yeah, that quest that I thought was broken, it turned out it really wasn't broken. It turned out that I joined Brotherhood of Steel early in add-on material, so it registered that I was a part of the Brotherhood of Steel and tried to put me in the Recruitment Blues quest, and it tried to make me finish another quest that I couldn't do because I was still early on in the game and I was like trying to do it and I was like, oh no, and I logged out, or the server disconnected, and I logged back in and the quest was just not there. And I was like, shit, man, it's not in my Pit Boys, so I can't pick up the quest anymore, and that's the main quest line, so I can't finish the game. It's broken. And I was pissed. And it turned out that quest line couldn't be done for quite a while. You got to go down to the Cranberry Bog, go to the Insane Asylum, where the Brotherhood of Steel has made their base, and start the quest line there, and then it goes and does the other stuff. And I thought, you got to get a military ID and all this other stuff, and I just, I didn't know, so I thought that the game was broken, but it wasn't. But I was looking up online, and a lot of people were saying Recruitment Blues was broken, along with Back to Basics, and they're things that break sometimes. Like Back to Basics, there's an optional part where you have to pick up Dirty Army Fatigues to finish the quest, but you can also do it if you just pick them up somewhere out in the world. And like the quest itself, the optional part where you pick them up in a barracks, a lot of times if you already do it or somebody else in the world picked them up, then they're not there. And I server hopped 20 times trying to get those army fatigues to respawn, and they wouldn't. And I just thought the game was broken. I was really of the opinion that the game was broken, but I still wanted to play it, so I kept playing it. And eventually the quest, unlocked, through time as it should. And I was like, okay, so it's not broken. So they've ironed out a lot. They have fixed a lot. I personally really like the game. If you like Fallout and you're not one of those lore nerds that is like, oh my god, why is the Brotherhood of Steel here? And they wouldn't be trying to help people in another area. Oh my god, they just stick to themselves. Like, who gives a fuck, dude? I mean, I get it, but it's a game that's been around for 30 fucking years, You're gonna get some retconning. That's all there is to it. It's the same with like the Final Fantasy VII remake. They're trying to redo some stuff. The game has been around forever. You cannot not add shit, especially when you're making one that takes place when the bombs first dropped. It's taken place hundreds of years before the other Fallout games. It was 200 years before Fallout 4. So, and Fallout 1 even takes place, I don't know how long, but it's definitely after this. So this is the earliest game, considering lore-wise. This is the earliest one. It's 20 years after the vault, or bombs dropped, I think. 25 years. Vaults have to stay locked for 25 years. And they kind of made it in the story. The vanilla version of the game only had robots and shit. And it took place right after the vault opened 25 years later. Wastelanders and everything I'm doing takes place, I think, a year or 5 or 6 years after that. So it kind of gives a lore reason and explains why now there are people all of a sudden back in Appalachia. Because when the game first came out, yeah, you see nothing. The world is dead. There's just robots around. Everybody died and everybody left the area and is locked in vaults, and most people didn't survive except ghouls that are radiated madmen. And there's robots that a lot of people set up fail safes where the robots take care of shit. And so there's a lot of robot quests and a lot of people there. There's a fucking raider that's a robot. Like they put a human mind in a raider. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That girl Rose. That girl was cool. I really liked her. If she would have been a human, she would have been just amazing. But she was even cool as a robot. It was a robot, but like dressed up like a raider. It had like a fucking rebar mohawk and shit with the shoulder pads. It was fucking cool, man. She was cool. I liked her. Yeah. She was in love with a guy called Dave who ran the Raiders too, and Meg, the other girl that runs the Raiders, was against Dave, and But yeah, anyways, now there's people there, and it's because of the Wastelanders update. The Wastelanders update is there's a treasure that is in Appalachia, and all of a sudden people are suddenly coming back to Appalachia that were there before, or they haven't. They hear about the treasure, and now they're coming there to look for it, and it's cool. It explains why the world was dead, and now all of a sudden there's people everywhere, and it explains why. And I like that. They could have just added a bunch of shit and been like, "Oh, this is the way the game should have been," but no, they actually made a story behind it, which is very nice. And the Brotherhood of Steel, came back because of the Scourge Plague, and they're there to try and, help their other chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel on the East Coast. And, um, I'm glad that I waited 2 years to get into it. Though, to be honest, if I would have picked it up when it first came out, I think I still would have enjoyed it. It wouldn't have been as good as it is now, but I think I would have still liked it because a big part of what I like about Fallout is leveling up and exploring. I love exploring, going to areas, and you can get stories just by looking at the environment. You have a vault where people are addicted to chems, and you go into a room and there's like a setup of people in a circle of chairs with coffee cups everywhere, and they're laying there dead with skeletons. And it's obvious that they made a vault where they made people addicts, and these people are having little fucking AA meetings, and they die in there and stuff. And you pick that up just from looking at it, just from reading the holotapes and just seeing the set of people in their own little makeshift AA meeting with Kims laying around. And, you can pick up stories that way. And I think Dishonored did that a lot too. That was a Bethesda game too. There's a lot of environmental storytelling in that game. And I love environmental storytelling. The Last of Us. You're in a hotel and there's two dead bodies in a bathtub, and they're congealed and laying in a pool of nasty shit. And there's like a gun laying there, or razors. I can't remember, but you read the note and it's obvious that these two people were in love. And when the apocalypse happened, they wanted to die together, and they killed themselves in the bathtub. And that was a cool, environmental storytelling. Dishonored had a cool one where there was like a tattoo shop or something, and you had to get a tattoo to go into an area or something that showed you were part of a certain sect or whatever. But it was like the tattoo shop itself had really cool lore in it. And, yeah, so I think I would have enjoyed Fallout 76, even in the beginning. Even as cruddy as it was, I think I still would have. That's what I enjoy. I enjoy the exploration is a big part of what I like about it. The leveling up in Fallout 76 is different. You still have special, strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence. What the fuck is the A for? Aptitude or action or something, and then P is or L is luck. But yeah, you have those. Strength, is like how much you can carry. And I'm sorry, I took my medicine a little bit ago. I got a bit of a buzz. All of a sudden, it kicked in. That's not important. But yeah, different things. Perception is like your VATs, and luck is whether your hits connect and things like that. And but you get perk cards, which you got perks in all the games. But in this, you get perk cards, and you can switch them out for each other. Once you reach level 50, that's the amount of points that you have. You never get any more in that area. You have, 50 points to allocate between the different areas, and you will never get more than that. So if you have 10 in strength, 5 in, luck and everything else, you're going to have to take it out of one area and put it in another. But you unlock perk cards, so like, it kind of it evens out, because let's say you unlock perk cards that are like for making armor, or for fast traveling cheaper, or for other things. You can get those perk cards, and then you can like just unequip one and then re-equip it later when you're actually at an armor bench or whatever. You don't have to keep them equipped all the time, so you can switch them out as long as you have enough in that area. Let's say you level up in luck 4 times or intelligence 4 times, and you've leveled up an armor perk 4 times. So you can't have a bunch of stuff there, and you don't need all those points in luck. You just need enough so that you can use that armor perk. But then you want to make bullets, so you'll have to switch that out and put the one for crafting bullets in. it's a bit of a headache, but you know, if you want to build a strength character and not an all around rounded out character, that's what you're going to need to do. You're going to have to, you know, figure out what kind of character you're building. Mine so far, I ran into a guy who was pretty cool. He was the first person. I've never actually done online games. The only online multiplayer that I've done is like in Dark Souls, where people bow to you, you bow to them, and you fuck each other up, and then you bow to their corpse after they're dead, and they take your souls. And you know, that's what I've done with other people. Until that, I hadn't really come across anybody. So in Fallout 76, this guy I came across, and he was talking to me. He gave me a bunch of fusion cores because he used a weapon that ran on fusion cores, and he had a bunch that had like some life in them. So he dropped them, let me have them. I gave him some missiles because I didn't really have it, or I didn't have any weapons that really ran off them that I could carry around. You know, I ain't trying to carry around a fucking 20-pound missile launcher. But he told me he was doing a commando build. All his points were in perception mostly, and you know, and then he was like, he was like, "Can you do this?" And he jumps like 20 feet in the air, and I was like, "Holy fuck, dude! How did you do that?" And he's like, "Well, I have the marsupial mutation." I'm like, "Oh shit!" You know, so I haven't gotten any good mutations yet. I've gotten some bullshit, some rad worms, fucking swamp itch, blood poisoning, shit that isn't good, you know, that you don't want. But there are things that are good, like I think there's a vegetarian mutation, which like any vegetables that you eat do like 10 times as much healthy stuff for you and keep you full and heal a lot more. There's other mutations, like I said, the marsupial one where you can jump like 20 feet high. There's other ones that like make you a good melee build. Let yourself get irradiated, you know, stand in radiation, go around some shit, see what kind of mutations you pick up. And there are ways to keep a mutation. I can't remember exactly what it is. I'd have to look it up. I think there's something that you get that lets you keep a mutation. It's some kind of chemical or something. You know, I don't know. It's a perk. Yeah, it's a perk. I don't remember what it is, but anyways, yeah, I really want that marsupial mutation. But yeah, so I'm trying to make my build. I'm almost at level 50. I'm at 47, and I think I'm doing a commando build. I like it because I'm using automatic weapons. I got an automatic, you know, combat rifle, automatic shotgun, automatic pipe rifle, automatic laser rifle. They all do a lot of damage. They fire fast, and I've leveled up my commando, expert commando, and then there's another commando perk card, and each one does, you know, each one is like plus 20% basically in damage. So if you do all three of them, then you're doing 160 times the amount of damage. So if a bullet does, you know, 100 per hit, and you level up all three of those cards, each one of them bullets is now doing 160 damage, not just 100. So it's worth it if you use automatic rifles. Just imagine each fucking bullet is doing 160, not just 100. That is fucking badass. My girl is mostly using pistols, so I think she's going for a pistol build, but she might change her mind, you know. Once she gets to level 50, she might want to do something else. She might want to do a VATS build. I like the mysterious stranger. He's really helping out a lot. I didn't think he would, but he is. He's different in a lot of the games, but in this one, he wears like a yellowish fedora and coat. And for a long time in luck, I kept it low because I want to keep a mutation when I get it, you know, so I don't want luck very high. And I had a thing equipped so that you find extra stim packs and med kits. And I took it out and I put the mysterious stranger in. And all of a sudden he started helping me. Like every other time I used VATS, he was helping me, and I was like, damn, man. He doesn't one-shot kill anything anymore, but he pops up and he'll shoot at it until it's dead. So, you know, in the music, it's like, down, 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 when he pops up, and it's cool. I've always liked the Mysterious Stranger. Um, some good things are also coming. For Christmas time, they had cool scorched enemies that looked like Santa Claus, and when you killed them, they gave you large presents, but small presents and regular holiday gifts. And you could install a Santa Claus, you know, a Soltron that picked up shit and gave you presents. And now Christmas is over and it sucks, man. I was really liking that Santa Soltron that gave me gifts. They had ammo in them and shit every time. It's nice. But, you know, so now that that's over, Valentine's Day is coming up, and, there's like they've got some stuff lined up for Valentine's Day, and I'm anxious to see that, some romance quests, um it's cool. I like that, it's changing. I like the game world changing, and they're also making perk card loadouts. So basically, you can make a build based on being a commando, and then make another build based on being a pistol, guy, and then make another one based on VATS, and another one based on sneaking and being a sniper, and sneaky. You can make a bunch of them. So, and it'll be better than having to go into your fucking Pip Boy and then having to press triangle and go here and pick which one you want to take out and put another one in, and then you got to switch 5 or 6 of them, and oh, I'm not picking any locks right now, so I got to switch a few of those around. It's gonna be nice when I have a loadout, so then when I want to pick locks or I want to do shit, all I got to do is press start R1, switch to another loadout, bam, done. No point in fucking going through this bullshit. So I'm really excited about that. They should have done that from the beginning. But hey, they pushed it out as fast as they could. And, I get it. They want people playing their games, spending money. And hate to say it, but, I dumped the money in it, which ain't very much because I'm not playing Final Fantasy 14 now. And I gotta fucking, I gotta, take that off because I'm not playing it. What the fuck is the word I'm looking for, man? I don't know. I need to stop making them charge my card for Final Fantasy 14 because there ain't another expansion coming for a while. The last patch, Futures Rewritten, was the last thing, and there ain't no content coming out for a while, so I need to uninstall it. You're not playing it anytime soon, are you? Yeah, my girl is done with it. She's got ADHD, and she switches from games a lot, so she's done with it. I just need to go ahead and stop it, but I don't know. I might want to play it one day or whatever, so but it's just pissing away $15 a month that I don't need to. I've already spent, I think, $30 on it because I haven't played it in like 2 months, and I've already spent $30 on a game that I'm not playing, so I need to go ahead and cancel that. Cancel, that's the word I was looking for. um, yeah, I'm into Fallout 76 now, and it's fun. It's only $11 a month, and I get a lot of, Final Fantasy 14. You cannot play it unless you pay for it, and when you do pay for it, you don't even get any cool shit. Like in this game, I can play this without having to pay for it. Paying for it just gives me a bunch of extra cool shit. Outfits and armor and shit, and fucking the survival tent and the scrap box and good stuff, man. Final Fantasy 14 didn't give me shit for that fucking $15 a month I spent. Nothing. Had to pay for every fucking the Moogles that you ride and shit, or any outfit that I wanted. They didn't give me no fucking free outfits, man. Like, it's bullshit, man. I mean, I love me some Final Fantasy, and God, I calculated how much money they were making off Final Fantasy. I think there's 6 million active players on that game, and each month they're paying $15 a person. They're basically making like 90 million a fucking month, man. So when Square Enix says they don't got the money to fucking do something, I'm like, you do. There's no way around it. They do. Yeah, this video is getting pretty fucking long. I should probably stop. I've been talking about Fallout like a fucking nerd for almost an hour now. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm really digging it. I really like it. I should maybe get a Fallout tattoo, maybe. Yeah. I'm gonna get a Final Fantasy tattoo. Already got Bloodborne on my arm. I'm a nerd. There's no way around it. Tokyo Ghoul right there. But yeah, I need to go ahead and is there anything else? Is there anything you want to say about Fallout? She's tired. She just got up not long ago. But yeah, it's good. Give it a try. It has a Weasel. Weasel is that fucking girl's name. The rat girl, man. What did I say? Possum or Badger or something? It was Weasel, man. Yeah, they named her fucking Weasel. And and that's so cool that the last group fucking used a hot poker and fucked up her voice box because she ratted someone out, and they put a thing on her that won't let her say her real name. All she can say is fucking Weasel. And it's so funny that she can't say fuck, she has to say fornicate. Dude, there are some really... Yeah. Yeah. There are some really good, really quirky, really funny quests. I'm really digging it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. What? You're gonna shake the camera. Sorry. Um, I'm loving it. It's a lot of fun. If you like Fallout, you like the world, I would give it a try. Yeah, it's fucked up sometimes, but they've fixed a lot of the bullshit in it, and mostly it's very playable. I really like Final Fantasy 14, but I'd go so far as to say I like Fallout 76 better. It you know, it's not, Final Fantasy 14 was tab targeting and using items, and it was just not very user friendly. It was meant to be on computer. This game is, you know, oh yeah, I forgot I got the Power Fist. This Power Fist is badass. It fucks shit up. It's like a mining gauntlet that's used for fucking knocking rocks out of the way and shit. It is so cool. There's so much stuff that's based on the lore of this world, and it is really good. This game is really good. I'm having so much fun with it. It's not even funny how much fun I'm having with this game. I'm enjoying it so much. Um, I can't remember the last time I enjoyed a game this much, to be honest. It's keeping me busy, and I'm really, I'm watching Fallout lore videos every day. Every day I'm at work. I can't wait to get home. Me and my girl fuck, and then we go right back to playing Fallout, and it's just, it's keeping us that busy right now, and it's really good. And it's one of those games where in Final Fantasy 14, once I beat the main story quest, there wasn't much to really do in it except for replaying some dungeons and stuff, which I don't really want to do because you can't level up past a certain point. Final Fantasy 14, once you get to level 80, you cannot level up anymore. There's a slash where it says experience. There's no point in leveling up. You don't get any more experience. Nothing to do. At least in this, you can level up to 300 and what the fuck ever if you want, and basically you make builds around it, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do in the world. The world is so big and they're constantly adding quests and things to do. Even after I beat the game and all the main story quests, I imagine that I can still have fun in it. I could still go in and find shit to do. I mean, I can't even imagine how much I'd have to run around to actually find every place there is on the map. It's a big map and there's a lot of shit in it, so it's gonna keep me busy for quite a while and I'm really digging it. And if you have not played Fallout 76 because of its launch and all that shit, then I would go ahead and give it a try. I'm really enjoying it, and I was one of those people that was like, when Fallout 76 came out, I really wanted to play it, and I was so disappointed. I was like, I'm done with Bethesda. They make shitty, fucked up games, and I am sick of their shit. I won't give them a fucking dollar. And they turned it around. In my opinion, they fixed it. Now, other people that are saying, oh, the game is broken and it's never going to be fixed. Everything that's wrong with it is still wrong with it. And I get it. There is, like in all the Fallout games, when you go into an area and you try and sleep in a bed or take a lamp off of a desk, they're going to shoot you because you're taking their shit. In this, you know, they won't because the game was set up originally as a multiplayer game. It wasn't supposed to have NPCs and stuff, so the NPCs don't really react like that because the game was never meant to have them. And essentially, they just react like enemies that don't attack you. Kind of, I guess, is in the game files. Is probably what they are. Um, there's a lot of other things that are just kind of fucked up and broken because of that, like the companions that you get in this game are different than the other ones. The companions in this game will not follow you and fight enemies with you. They stay at your fucking base and they do shit around there like cook or they do fight if enemies come around your base, but they're not gonna follow you and do quests with you and stuff, which are they? They send you on quests. I just mean that I know. I just mean that they don't actually follow you and do stuff like that. You can't travel the wasteland with them. This game was meant to be played with other people. So if you want to travel the wasteland and fight with a companion, find somebody. Hopefully you'll find somebody that wants to play. Just make a group. I've met a couple people that I like, not many. And for the most part, we all want to do our own thing. We're already playing different quests. You'd have to start from the beginning with somebody I play the whole game with them all the time. That's cool. That's very helpful. That is cool. Um, but yeah, there are some things that are just never going to be fixed because the game was made as a multiplayer game, and now they're trying to make it both. And you know, it's not a bad thing that when you try and take shit from a raider that they don't shoot you. You know, I mean, it's it's funny that you can just fucking walk up to a bitch and go to the safe under her legs and take everything out of it, and she don't do nothing about it. It's fucking funny. In every other Fallout game, you take a fucking cup or a folder or a pencil off of somebody's desk, blam, blam, blam. The whole fucking town is against you. So you know, right? Yeah, unless they don't see you. But in this, it's not like that. Right. Yeah. And the companions not being able to follow you, it's not a big deal. They give you quests and they're cool. And the only one that I've got so far is the astronaut lady. And well, no, I have a cook also, but I haven't. I've been keeping the astronaut at my base. I haven't switched her out because I don't want her quest to bug out, which they probably wouldn't. The game is pretty polished and fixed now, but you know, I at least need to finish her quest lines before I go and get another companion. There's another companion named Yasmin that's with Fallout First, and she like cooks stuff for you. And then there's another one. I got the companion that you had, the dude that sits in the chair. Oh yeah, they do. There's this lady that sits outside Vault 76. She's like the first NPC you run into, and the leader of the fucking Raiders is the same player model or the same character model. And I was like, are you shitting me? It's that same black girl with short hair. Like that is so fucking retarded. Was it really that hard? Couldn't they have just fucking picked another character? And like, really, did they think I wasn't gonna notice? But yeah, it's okay. I mean, Final Fantasy 15. God, dude. Seen the video where there's like somebody's in one of those diners and like every fucking person at the table is the same character. They just got different clothes, and then some of them are like missing a head and shit. Dude, Final Fantasy 15 was busted as fuck when that game came out. I'm really enjoying Fallout 76, and there ain't much more I can really say except that I'm loving it more than McDonald's. It's fucking good, man. It's exciting. It is, you know, scintillating. It is fun. It is. I think it does have 16 times the detail. I think it is really pretty. I think it's really fun. Yeah, the VATS fucking sucks, and it does fucking kick you off the server. But I've been sitting here fucking around now for a while, and it hasn't kicked me off the server. So, you know, if you want more Fallout and you don't have no Fallout to play, if you like Fallout 4, I would suggest playing this. I like it better than Fallout 4. In my opinion, it's because of the area. I really like the minor, you know, Appalachia Wasteland much better than Boston. There wasn't that much lore of the area that was all that great. It was the area that, you know, the United States was first made in, you know, with Benjamin Franklin and all them and shit. But this is a mining area and it's got so, I love the fucking Mothman. The Mothman is so cool. And the miners are so cool. And I really like, you know, I love everything about this game. So far I haven't run into anything that's making me not want to play it or anything. So anyway, that's about all I got for you. Check it out. It's good. That's my opinion. Um, baby, come over here. Say goodbye to everybody. No, fine. She's not wearing pants. She don't want to. Yeah, y'all have a good day, man. If anybody even watches this, but if you do watch it, trust me, play some Fallout 76. Good shit.